African countries has the highest rate of Schengen visa refusal, even when they do everything right. Have you ever wondered why it's happening like that? I've been applying for this Schengen visa. Why are they refusing African countries the most? Countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Comoros, Senegal, mostly West African, sub-Saharan West African countries are the worst hit. Many Africans being denied Schengen visas at very high rates. The issue goes deeper than paperwork. It is wrapped in unequal systems, hidden bias, restrictive economic and immigration policies, and double standards of European countries against Africans. And these visas don't just come by. For every application, you apply with 100 US dollars. All the applications done from 2024 down to 2025 is worth over 67 million US dollars of rejected visas. And why are they rejecting these visas? 29 European Schengen zone countries keep milking up people, especially from Africa. If you still get this money from African applicants and still don't give them visa. So it is argued that it is another silent revenue streams for European zones because European embassies refuses to give visas but don't refund monies to denied applicants, making massive millions yearly of denied visas. The European visas are just given to just very small number of people and the rest will be rejected. Even when these European countries know that in the first place that these visas will not be granted to the applicants. Take $100 from you or even more in most countries. Because whatever they explain away there in the email they send to you, you take it like that. Should this continue happening in this era of globalization, when people move from one spot to the other in search of greener pastures, is a very troubling reality. Imagine African countries wasting all that money just for you to be turned down or to be rejected. Well, if you've experienced this, just drop your comment in the comment section. Let's know what you have experienced or how it went about. A lot of applicants says that they submitted whatever documents that is required of them, employment letter, travel insurance. You see Europeans breezing into Africans through African borders with little or no resistance. They receive warm welcome, they are given visas on arrival, but Africans applying to travel to European countries, they get denied. Why is African countries spending all this money just to travel to Europe? Maybe they should take their travel plans to other parts of the world, Asia, the Caribbeans and all that. So the money that is doled out from Africa or African countries by Africans just to apply for visa to Europe is not worth it, because at the end of the day, the 29 countries that made up Europe Schengen zones, they know what they are doing. Some of these rejections are done intentionally. So if you're applying for Schengen visas somewhere else because these things are just already well planned to keep on siphoning money from Africa. Let's talk about Russia-African relations. Do you think that Russia-African cooperation has yielded more fruits or more benefits or positives to Africa than all the years that African countries or African continent has had business with Europeans? Europeans or the West uses suppression, death strangle, X to hold Africa down, while Russia plays a 50-50 game based on respect, dignity of the countries they are dealing with, and also allowing, not enforcing any of their ideas into other countries. But the European countries or the West wants you to do everything under their power, under their supervision, under their guidance, as if African countries are just one piece of place that they can always come there, trample upon and move on. So you can see, let's look at some of the things that Russia-African relations. Russia has been there over time when colonization in Africa was in full bloom. But Russia has always supported African countries that were fighting for their independence. Russia supported so many students from African countries to come to the Soviet University, now Russia University, to study way back then and even up to this present moment. So they've helped a lot in fostering African unity and development without wanting much like the West. Russia-African relations or cooperation is a better one because Africa has the chance to survive. Africa has the chance to build up and develop, connecting with Russia or China than with the West. We're hoping that Russia-African relations will continue to blossom because we have seen a lot of positive things coming out from Russia-African relations, especially in regards to the Sahel states. It's unlike the Western countries that use exploitative ways and suppress African countries and their economies. and also try to impose their own Western ideology or democracy in African sovereign states. So with Russia-African relations, we are seeing that there is a headway, there's light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, because Africa and Russia has been friends for a long time, and Russia is a country that always supports African independence. As the world is changing, Africa is one of the strong centers that all parts of the world want to do business with, to collaborate with, because Africa has natural resources in abundance and has very youthful populations that can boost African economy. It is natural that all parts of the world want to partner with Africa. But this kind of partnership is the type that Africa wants to dictate the way it should go. We need a multipolar system, which you're seeing now between Russia, China, US, wanting to partner with Africa. Partnership that Africa wants, as we are seeing in the Sahel states, being the model, is the type that will respect African sovereignty, African development, and also allow Africa to thrive.